something that is really, truly spooky and not a conspiracy theory is if you don't put a smart meter in your house, you can now be arrested.
This is starting to happen all over the country.
Yeah. This is, there are a few things that I know because I am an educated man and I can read and I know history. And then there are a few things that on top of that, I know my gut tells me, say something to warn people. Okay. So let me say something to warn people. You are at a threshold right now that will not be understood maybe for another 5 years, maybe for another 10 or 15 years. But you will look at this time in history right now, and you will recognize that this is the moment that is the tipping point. This is it. And it is all based on technology. The more you go from this point forward, the farther you go into technology, mindlessly, the more danger you're going to be in. Technology is about to change. I'm going to do a Dream Lab special next week on technology, and this technology, we just talked about it when I got back from vacation. Was it vacation? Yeah. When I started talking to you guys about the singularity and everything else. Yeah, it was the beginning of the year. And I remember saying two things. In fact, one of our cameramen said to me, you said, Glenn, that these 3D printers are going to, print guns and everything else. And, I thought, no offense, but I thought that's never going to happen. That's crazy. Until he saw a 3D printer print a semi-automatic weapon that is real. It shoots. Until he saw the magazine. And then he came up to me and he said, I thought you were crazy just a week ago. Oh my gosh. It is. That is going to happen. I'm like, There's something else that I said that I think still most people think I'm crazy. The merging of man and machine and the ability for the machine to listen to you and to become your friend. I won't eat you now, but our time is coming. The ability for a machine to the computer, your iPad, iPhone, whatever, to listen and read everything that you read, everything that you write, everything that is written to you, to understand it, then to listen to all of your conversations 24 hours a day, and then begin to respond directly to you.
That's already here.
It's here. And
we
I'll
talked
show
about that yesterday with the mind meld.
I will show it to you next week, and it's fire. If you know that it's dangerous, okay. But if you go into it and you're like, fire, look, it's pretty. Let me stick my hand in there. You're going to get burned, and burned badly. The smart meters, I don't care what anybody says. It is a controlling device. It is not just for, it is, you know what it is? It's a search engine. Google's a search engine. I say this to people, and nobody really understands. Everybody's like, oh, come on, that's great. No, you will. You will within the next 5 to 15 years. You will understand it clearly. Remember this monologue. Because this monologue, you're going to say, either in 5 or 15 years, in that time period, you were either going to say, thank God I listened, or dear God, why didn't I listen? Mark my words, I know that to be true. The smart meter is just like Google's search engine. And even today, I will say to people, that search engine, it was not made to be just a search engine. That is to collect data. And not on individuals per se, but that's what it is now, but to map how humans think. The search engine part of that is the least important part of their business. That's not their business. It is what is creating their business. And they have employed you, unbeknownst to you, to help them create artificial life. That sounds like insanity. My source on that is not some blogger. My source on that is the head of Google Artificial Life. So I don't know how you take that one down and say, Google's not trying to convince artificial life. No, no, no. My source is the head of Google's artificial life program. So there's no really way to dismiss this. Now, when you understand what they're really doing, just remember that every time you hit that search engine. You're never going to put this genie back in the bottle. It is not, technology cannot be stopped, nor should it be. You just have to know what you're dealing with. It's fire. The smart meters are the same as that little box, but I'm just looking for the latest news. I'm just looking for a certain article on somebody. I'm just looking for where this event is. That's all I'm doing. I'm not creating artificial life. You're right. You're not. They are. The same thing with the smart meter. The smart meter is being put in because it's a convenience to you, just like the search engine. It's a convenience. It will help you make decisions. But I am telling you now, if you put that in your home, trouble, real trouble.
And the sad thing is, a lot of people don't have a choice. They've just passed these laws in certain states, and it is forced on you.
I will tell you now that you couldn't pick a better cause. Forget about everything that is happening in Washington, D.C. There is no better cause to pick up right now than ending Agenda 21 in your local community and ending smart meters in your state. There is no better cause. You are now being arrested if you don't put a smart meter in your home. Excuse me? I don't want a smart meter in my home. Now, the other way, and this is one of the things that Dream Labs, this is one thing that we're working on, and it is going to be expensive. But I'm telling you, you should get together with your neighbors and find out who your neighbors are that think the same way you do. And if you don't have enough neighbors around you, then you better the hell move someplace where the neighbors do think like you. But that we are working now on some technology that is half the cost of what I thought it would be. And I think it brings it down to somewhat of a reasonable cost, but not really reasonable. It's not like, hooking up to a power line. That's really reasonable. This is not. But 4 houses will find it reasonable. 4 neighbors working together, it will be reasonable for you. You will be able to say, shut the power off. I'm not having your damn smart meter. I don't want your power lines running to me. I don't need your power. I will tell you, as I thought about this last night, and as I was, I'm really studying a lot of Tesla and Edison and Westinghouse right now. And I'm a student of history. Before you go forward, you better learn history. And I will tell you that we're entering times now that are much more dangerous, if you will, to inventors. And, there's an inventor in China that GE just moved their some of their stuff away from the United States over to China. And they did it to shut this one guy down. And there's an inventor over there that they were making these light bulbs that I'm trying to get one. I don't even know if we can even get one. But they are really, really powerful light bulbs. And they have a fraction of even our most efficient light. So GE is concerned, not because they make light bulbs, but because they make generators, because they're in the power generation business. And we're entering a time now with people who can come up with new power. And I'm telling you, it can be done. Free energy is not a pipe dream. It is not. It is way down the road. But really cheap, independent energy is not a pipe dream very soon. And because of that, you don't just have the regulators. You have all of the people in the governments from all over the world with players like GE that will shut people down tomorrow if they can. That's why I've asked you, please help us get the word out about the blaze. You cannot. I had somebody tell me last summer, I said, we're going to fill the state. He said, you need to be in front of the biggest crowd you can possibly. You're going to do these things, Glenn. You better be in front of the biggest crowd you can possibly be in front of. And I said, well, we're starting. We're growing the Blaze. We're growing our TV network and our radio network, and we're trying to increase the size. And I said, we just sold out Dallas Cowboy Stadium. We're going to do that this summer, and yada yada yada. And he said, no, you don't understand. And this is a guy who plays all around the globe at the highest levels. He said, you don't understand. You better be in front of unless you can shift your weight and everything kind of tips, and those in power kind of feel like, wait, he's shifting weight. Unless you can do that, you can't do any of the things you're talking about. You have to be seen, and people have to know, because you'll be shut down. So that's why we've asked you, if you can subscribe, please subscribe. I met a guy who's a big businessman. He said, I bought, what was it? 40?
39.
39 subscriptions to the Blaze, one for all of his employees. And he said, I bought it for a year for all of them. I gave it to all of them. He said, because I think they need to see it. And beyond that, I want to help fund what you guys are trying to do. And every dollar, I'm telling you right now, I haven't taken a dollar from any of these subscriptions. Everybody says, oh, Glenn Beck wants to be rich. You know what? I'm getting poorer by the day, because every resource I have is being poured into this. I have every chip, literally every chip on the table. I don't think I've taken any profit. We haven't made profit in, I think, 2 years. I'm okay. My business partner's not okay, but I'm okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get in touch with FreedomWorks and tell them in the state, Agenda 21 is really important. Smart meters are really important. I want you to organize yourself in your local communities. I want you to find out how your neighbors feel about the smart meters. And I need you to start moving towards smart meters as saying this and educating people in a non-conspiratorial fashion. This is a bad thing, because it is a really bad thing. And they're selling it as all good. No. It's fire. And you don't control it. They do. The second thing I want you to do is, if you can, subscribe to the Blaze. Please do. Help us get the word out. Help us become a more powerful news organization with more credible voices that the world will be able to hear and trust. Help us build towards a more peaceful and sane future.